Hello again everybody, and welcome back to my channel. And this is a long time promised video to Adam Auger. I hope I didn't butcher your name up, and if I did, I'm sorry. And well, this video is about how you can increase just a little bit of FPS to your games, just in case if you have some inbuilt graphic card like me, Intel HD, or if you're running low on RAM. Now I'll be covering the basics first, and then we're going to move on to a little bit of advanced stuff. And bear in mind, whatever you do to your PC is on you and not on me, so tread with caution. And with that warning, let's begin the video. Now first things first, even kids know this, but still, just clear your temporary folder. To do that, hit Windows plus R key, type in %temp% like so, and hit enter. And whatever you see, Control A and Shift plus delete. That will permanently delete all these, not even to the recycling bin, it's just gone. So hit yes, and if this cannot delete something, chances are that that is important, so you just skip that part. Alright, so camrec 0, that is the Camtasia recorder recording right now, so it won't obviously delete it because the file is in use. And rest of all that stuff, you see how much junk am I taking out, so whatever it can delete, just skip it. Alright, we are almost there. And the less often you do this, the more trash you have in your PC. Just take out the trash if you would. And this strangely does speed up, like gives you at least 1 FPS, because you have more space to store your temporary data, and your PC can hold more strain than before. So yeah, why not? Now while this happens, we can move on to step number 2. Step number 2 would be, if you have Intel HD or any Intel inbuilt graphic card, you can just head on over and go to graphic properties by right clicking on your desktop. Now there are custom builds for the same, I forgot the name, I guess it was Skylake or something, but there are people who have made custom drivers for Intel HD, and they are just for gaming. So I seem to have forgotten that link and something, but if I get it, I'm gonna link it in the description. And to your surprise, I cannot be showing you how to do that because my Intel HD does not support that. So before we head on to this, we can also head on to the start menu, right click it and go to the device manager. And if you're on Windows 7 or lower, you can just search for device manager and right click it, run as administrator. The reason we are here is just to update our drivers, so that's step number 2, update your drivers. First was, we'll take out the trash, and you can see that deleting thing has done its job, and you can go ahead and update this under display adapters, Intel HD graphics. So you want to just right click it and update the driver. If you have any updates, they will be installed, and if not, well, you'll be prompted saying that well, you have the latest updates and blah blah blah. So that's basically useless. You should always update your drivers, so take your time, check all of these, and see if you want to update anything. Just keep them in tip-top shape, you know. So that was step number 2. Moving on to step number 3, we can go to right-clicking graphic properties, and this is the Intel HD graphics control panel. And before we proceed, I'm going to show you so I literally have just 4 GB of RAM, 64-bit operating system, and 1.60 GHz processor, and 3700, that is not overclockable, not overclocked. So yeah, and I think I forgot something. Yes, if you're not playing a game that requires internet connection, then please, for God's sake, cut out your internet connection like I have. I can put up my Ethernet right now, but I don't want to because, well, it just works faster. It does work faster. So you can just cut off all of your connections by putting it to airplane mode, and essentially you want to disable your Bluetooth, your I don't know, background running applications like Skype or even Google Update. You can see that by heading on over to the task manager, and all you need to do is close all of the unnecessary apps running here. Like, I don't really want this, so you can close that, but it'll just pop back up, so you cannot do anything essentially. But whatever you can close, you can, like Google Update and all that stuff, you can close them and they won't show up until the very next reboot. So yeah, do that. And while you're in it, just go to the startup tab, and you can see my last BIOS. That is very good for a 4 GB RAM PC. And what you want to do here is just one by one right click and disable. I have it disabled already, so I'm getting the option to enable it, but you want to disable it. Alright, do this for everything right here. Doesn't even matter if you use them, just disable them and head on over to services. Now if you see some useless services running on here, then don't do anything here. We're gonna go open services, and you can also do that by going to the run window, typing services.msc, and you will see the same window pop up. So here we are looking for a certain superfetch dot so if we see superfetch, yes, here is superfetch, and the reason you want this disabled at all times is that it promotes indexing that takes a good chunk of your memory, just to speed it up. So you don't want that, you don't necessarily want that. And in turn, what happens is that when you hit this and talk to Cortana, that will be slower, like way slower. So you have to sacrifice something to gain a little bit of FPS. So you can also disable Xbox stuff if you're not into it, and you can basically disable anything you want here. Just when you see that these are supported by Microsoft, do not disable them, because you never know what stops, and you'll be in great trouble, and you might as well have to reset your entire PC, and that's a lot of work. So just don't do it. Alright, okay, little bit of working for myself, and we move on to the graphic panel. Now we head on over to the power section, and you can tick maximum performance always, and in here maximum performance extended, this thing will be disabled. Alright, that's for the power section. Now we go to the video section. And the lesser colors you see, the better the performance. You have to sacrifice colors if you need performance. So if you're willing to go that crazy, you can always tack down the brightness, contrast, not that low, contrast and hue or something. That is horrible, okay? But if you want to, you could do that. And I guess it was like when you come to 0, that is when you have reached your default, just in case if you mess this up, and that is just for humor, right? And saturation, you can get it oversaturated, undersaturated. Now this will promote a lot of FPS. Bear in mind you will have no colors whatsoever, so I just suggest leave it on a little bit, just under 1, and you can experiment with this yourself. Just put it to driver settings, do whatever you want. Now input range, you can go to driver settings and go to full range. I don't really know what this is, but it helps, so why not? And go to advanced total color correction. You do not want any correction, so just hit disable and apply. Since I've changed that, and image enhancement, you want this disabled at all costs, so just disable this one and go to driver custom, take it to 0. That'll be manually disabled, and just disable everything you want. Put it to partial reduction, disable, apply, yes. Image scaling, put it to disable. Gamut mapping, put it to disable. Now once you've done that, you can also save it as a new profile, or else if you don't. Okay, a little interruption back there, and yeah, as I was saying, if you don't, then you will be using that as your current setting. But bear in mind, when you right click outside and go to graphic options and go to profiles and you do this to any of these, you'll lose your current settings. So it is a good practice to go back in there and just save it as a profile, and like you can get it back in here. Like I have saved this to game, so when I need to game, I know what is gonna happen. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this panel, and we'll be moving on to the run window again. So Windows R and type in msconfig, hit enter. Okay, now this window is up. The reason to load this window is because it takes a little bit of time to do so. Now head over to this PC, hit properties, and we're gonna go to advanced system settings, and yeah, so in system properties you need to go to advanced, and then you need to hit settings and just put it all to custom, and whatever you want you can do that, or adjust for best performance, and that will just close all of this. It has a major impact on your FPS because you don't see any animations, so where will that memory go? It is given to you. So that is done, and adjust for best performance of. Obviously programs, you don't need it for the background services. Now total paging, this is interesting. Now you can change your total paging. I do not recommend this, but you can. So you can see here the paging for all drives is 2432. Now my recommended paging is this much. Now I can even go higher to 6000. I've gone to 6000, but well, I have not witnessed great change, but you know, you can do that, and this gives you major FPS increase. but at your own risk. So I'm gonna go to 6000 for this. See, I have already gone to 6000, and whenever you do this you have to hit set. So that will set it again, and yeah, so you need to restart before this can take effect. Obviously, mostly you need to restart your stuff before they can take effect. And yeah, well, that is for this little thing right here. I think I missed something. No, I didn't miss anything. Alright, so hit OK. Yeah, whatever. So just restart later and proceed further with this video. Now in the msconfig tab, you need to go to you can hit normal startup, which will load all your device drivers and services at once, or you can choose the diagnostic startup that will load just the bare minimum, and you can then use that. So I recommend this, but for the things we're gonna do, we will need the selective startup, because under the boot tab we need to go to advanced options. Now this will be unticked for you by default. Tick it, go ahead and choose the maximum number available here. That will activate all of your redundant processors, which will in turn give you major FPS boost. So do that, hit OK and go to services. Now here you need to hide all Microsoft services, and whatever you see here is basically extra running, and this does not concern with your PC in any way, like booting up and stuff. So just uncheck all of them. If you need if you're really desperate, just uncheck all of them. And even in Microsoft you can disable like the Bluetooth services that start up for no reason and stuff if you don't even use them. So you can do that and hit apply and OK, like so, and this will help you in the next reboot. And apart from this, you can always use a little bit of software help. Now I'd not be recommending any software as of now because I don't use them myself, so I wouldn't be going ahead and recommending those to you. But there's one nifty tool that I want to show you guys, and that is the Unpark CPU. So I don't know if I'll have it yet, but so why is it be in here? Okay, here we have it. Now I'll be linking this file to my Google Drive, and the link will be in the description. Right click and extract the stuff where you want to, and when you do, you get this folder. Now bear in mind, you have to right click it and run this as an administrator. You will get the UAC pop-up and you hit yes to it, and then we head on over with our lives. Okay, so this is going to be a kind of long video, I just realized, but well, whatever. You can then check the status, and for you by default it should be parked. Now when you do this, you need to check unpark all. Now I'm not going to do this because it takes a lot of time, so you want to do this because it does give you an FPS upgrade. So just check the status and unpark all, then reboot. So yeah, that is all, by far all the tricks I remember. Now if you want to go like little further, you can always like choose a lower operating system like Windows 7, because it has way less animations and stuff, and it is way more effective. And you can always not use such 4K wallpapers on your screen, because that also takes booting time. Your system needs to display that HD image, and that takes some video memory out of it. So yeah, you don't want to do that. I think I just missed something. I'm trying really hard to remember. The registry. Now we hit Windows R, reg edit, and UAC. You hit yes, and then let's just start it over. So this is how you get it. Now open this HKey local machine, go to software. I don't really remember it well, but I guess it was in software. And yeah, go to software, open up Intel, and make a new folder like so, new key, and you'll get the new folder. Rename it to GMM. Alright, name it to GMM, and right click inside the huge white section, new, and you need a D word for 64-bit PCs. I mean Q word for 64-bit PCs and a D word for 32-bit PCs. Let's make it together. Now you need to copy this name, that will be dedicated segment size. Copy the capitals and smalls as it is. Now rename this and it's right here. So value already exists, of course it does exist. Now let's delete this, yes, and rename this. So that's done. The keyword is in. Now you can put in, like, let's say by the rules, if you have a 4 GB RAM PC, you need to input 512. But let's see, let's input like 1 GB. So 1 GB is 1024 MB, and we hit OK. Now after this you need to restart. And the changes you will witness are, you go to your desktop, right click, display, I guess it was display properties, display settings, and you wait for this to load. Look at what you've made me do. This is such a long video, god damn it. And you need to go to this thing, and wait, did it all change? It wasn't like this before anyway. I guess graphic settings. God damn it. Where was it? Why cannot I have the original? There it is. So advanced display settings, you need to tap on this thing in the new update. Okay, so once you do that, you see this thing, the dedicated video memory. Now by default, in such inbuilt graphic cards, or in Intel generally, this is set to 16 or 32 depending on how much RAM you have. Now once you've done that, the registry editor trick I just showed you, you can take this up to this much. This is like the maximum you can go. You can even input there 2 GB and it'll won't even flicker. So yeah, don't be too cocky about it, and just get whatever it gives you. And one last trick that I want to show you is when you boot up your game, and if it's running slowly, just shift back to your desktop somehow, open task manager, and if you cannot, then just control shift and escape for the task manager, and assuming this is the game, left click, right click, and go to details. You'll see the detailed name of the game. You can hit right click and set its priority to high, at least high, so you can you can tell your CPU and your computer that this service needs more attention, so just drive all your resources to it and give it more power. And with that out of the way, you can also, when you boot up your game, you can also just go to task manager, scroll really down, and its task. Now you can end its task by clicking end task, and when you want it back, just control shift escape, file, run new task. It goes by the name explorer.exe, and then you'll see all this beautiful screen pop up. Now the explorer takes a good chunk of memory, so you might want to do that if you are really desperate for that FPS. Now with all of that out of the way, I would like to end this video, and if you guys have any other nifty tricks up your sleeve, then just let us know in the comment section below. We will all benefit from that, and every such trick gets a little pin from me in the comment section, so if you want a pin, just share a trick. And Adam, this was long awaited, and I did not forget. I just was thinking of making the video shorter, so I hope you're happy. Now I cannot do a comparison because, you know, well, just trust me, alright? Compare it for yourself. Tell me what happened in the comment section below, and the name I'm referring to will be in the comment section below. He is like the oldest one of my subscribers, and I don't know him personally, but I know him enough. So yeah, thank you for the suggestion, and if you guys have any more suggestions, then just leave it in the comment section below. Someday if it's not very long, then someday I will cover that video. I will not forget. And with that being said, like the video if it helped you, comment if you have some difficulties, and subscribe for more such videos. Hit the bell icon. I've never said this, but hit the bell icon if you want to be notified as and when my videos come out. And thank you guys for watching.